So welcome everybody. Great to see you here. My name is Tessa Harari and welcome to our webinar today with Finance Magnates and B2Broker. I am so excited to have with me here today Arthur Azizov, CEO and founder of B2Broker, and John Murillo, Chief Dealing Division Officer at B2Broker. I'll let them introduce themselves in a bit, just in a moment. I'd just like to go over a few housekeeping matters. Our discussion today will last about 45 minutes. After that, the floor will be open for questions where we'd love to hear from you. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to write a comment and we'll try and get to you. If we don't get your question, we'll follow up with you afterwards. And of course, FYI, the webinar will be on demand after the live session. If you happen to miss anything, don't worry, we'll be sending around the on-demand recording when it's available. And finally, we'd like to encourage you to share today's webinar throughout your social networks. So without further ado, I hand over the floor to John. John, welcome. John, I think you're still on mute. Hi there. Oh dear, you are back on mute. I think we're good now. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Tessa, and thank you everyone for joining us today. John Murillo, Chief Dealing Officer at B2Brokers. Today will be a discussion over essentially how we will be discussing multi-asset liquidity and the inside outs of it. Let's call it behind the scenes, so to speak. I'm here joined by our CEO, Arthur Azizov. And without further delay, let's begin our discussion. We have an agenda that we put together, and in essence, the agenda will be covering our business model. We will be discussing briefly what is prime brokerage, what is prime of prime, how do we facilitate the market. There will be a discussion also on institutional prime of prime liquidity, what is prime brokerage on crypto, what is the methods of distribution that we utilize at present over one single margin account, how we aggregate liquidity, and many other topics along. First of all, I take this opportunity to elaborate on our business. B2Broker, ever since the very beginning, has been running an agency model. The company took this decision at the early stages, and we have avoided conflict of interest with our customers ever since. Our business has been entirely focused on the B2B space. We have a client portfolio in which they primarily focus on retail flow, or we call it retail business. That is a segment that we leave to them. We don't compete for the same type of operation, so it is separated, segregated from the early stage. At the moment, we are providing, we feel that there is a vital service to our customers. We're aiming at all times to source the best liquidity in the marketplace without our company taking on that principal risk. I firmly believe that over time, we've put together a talented liquidity team who is in constant communication with our LPs to ensure we can manage clients' expectations and create a bespoke solution if and when needed. I think our business practice over time has enabled our company to focus on building a reputable, sustainable, and diversified operation. Our company has allocated resources to obtain licenses from reputable jurisdictions, and instead we've been focusing on developing our technological products. I believe this is one of the many reasons why clients continue to do business with us today, and we continue to grow our client base. Now, the next topic for discussion today, I consider one of the most exciting ones within this industry. It's prime brokerage and prime of prime. We get this question all the time. It is constantly being brought up in multiple venues in which we participate. And the true question is, what is the meaning what is it that they do and what sort of facilitations they bring to our industry. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. Of course, it's a topic for a lot of discussion, but let's think of it in a simplistic way. When we talk about prime brokerage, especially FX prime brokerage, we're talking about multiple financial institutions having the ability to trade with a tier 1, tier 2 bank or so. Now, the higher that credit rating of that FXPB, the wider the connectivity they have across all financial markets, which means you will be getting access to a much larger credit limit. And therefore, operationally speaking, it allows clients to consolidate from legal collateral, netting benefits that you get. Counterparty risk and operational risk is allocated to this particular relationship. The real question that most people bring to our attention is, how does prime brokerage work? Well, clients' trades are always going to be executed with those so-called executing dealers who then do the model of give-ups, and their trades are essentially given to the FXPB on a pre-agreed time period. Typically, we're looking at 1 hour, 2 hours. There's a series of parameters in place that dictate that. So essentially, the FX prime broker acts as a central counterparty to clients' transactions. In other words, they're holding collateral that is required for trading purposes, and they do all the settlement via one single financial entity, which is obviously the FXPB. A lot of people, one can say, is you get a lot of control over your liquidity providers. You actually have that direct relationship with them, and simultaneously tech vendors. Now, the next question, I think, and one of the key points of this whole discussion will be, what is prime of prime? Prime of prime, in essence, is more or less, we can think of it as an institution that is giving efficiency to other financial institutions by allowing them to outsource their liquidity management teams. They are decreasing the operational load on a new business. They are more, I consider, flexible when it comes to onboarding a new client, and they manage those very complex liquidity provider relationships and credit lines. Don't forget, prime of primes, they have a credit program, which is typically auto margin, which has to be monitored and understood very well. But besides that, I firmly believe they give you the best access to pricing from tier 1 banks and non-bank makers, along with anonymous pools. It also allows you to take the benefit of netting through a central collateral market exposure, in addition to the operational efficiency. Behind the scenes, I think one can say that liquidity providers are more willing to price aggressively when the relationship is disclosed versus a non-disclosed, where in this instance, the trading activity is not on the name of the PB, but is on the name of the prime of prime. So these are key components when choosing your future relationships, if so. Now, on the next topic that I will be discussing, let's move on to the next slide. We have institutional prime of prime liquidity. So the real question I always ask myself is, what is the prime of prime added value? So when we think of them as a whole, it is a segment that is growing continuously, because ever since the Swiss franc event, some of the tier 1 banks have reevaluated the risk models, and therefore some of them have pulled out from a market that it was thriving back in the day, meaning prime brokerage. Now, prime of primes have come into this space. There's been a lot of businesses that are deploying significant amount of capital, and therefore we have a new wave of participants within our industry. I always say prime of prime thanks to their involvement nowadays, they are actually aggregating multiple liquidity providers of all types. Therefore, they are giving us that spread compression that is extremely important, especially for broker dealers, when it comes down to attracting that retail type of client. And for the larger operation, it enhances the depth of the market. That order book becomes much stronger, much more compressed with a greater liquidity. Participants are playing a key role in the way that an order will be executed. That's what I call mitigating market impact when it comes to large clip sizes. Remember, if you have an order book that it has significant depth, that market or so-called slippage is highly unlikely or is minimized, what I consider market impact. Prime of primes, in my opinion, and through our experience, have lowered the barrier of entry. They have become much more accessible. Those credit reviews are slightly more flexible. As a matter of fact, margin requirements tend to be very attractive, very affordable, I would say, and they're less capital intense on a business. Don't forget, prime of primes, though, ultimately offer you a bespoke liquidity solution. This is where we strive as a business. B2Broker has focused on this particular side of the business over the years, and we've been very successful at it. Now, don't forget, one of our main advantages in this particular sphere comes back down to one particular element: the ability to denominate accounts on cryptocurrencies and the flexibility we have towards a significant NOP limit. We work with partners to find the fair compromise when it comes to creating bespoke solutions. Now, let's move on to the next and very attractive topic for discussion. So, our company has been in the crypto world for many years. We've been working with crypto, I believe, quite a bit of time. We developed technology, and simultaneously, we developed relationships with partners, with certain counterparties where we are acting as a prime broker in the liquidity world. Actually, we have, perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, many of you know our brand, we're probably one of the most well-recognized crypto providers in this whole entire industry. We are positioned, I think, we have a very large market share, let's just say that. So, over the years, what we've been doing is simulating the FX prime brokerage world into the crypto liquidity space. Whether it's a spot business that you have running behind or a CFD traditional brokerage, we have the solution for you because we have constructed all this infrastructure, all these credit relationships over the years. And obviously, the larger an operation becomes, the bigger you are as a business, the more leverage you have with your makers. This is key into that pricing element that we are all seeking, and we're trying to find a fair balance both for our clients and obviously for those counterparties that are behind the scenes. I find crypto liquidity today one of the most fascinating topics. There's been a great deal of volatility this year, without a doubt, but that's what brings opportunity ultimately. So we are here to serve any type of business regardless of your size. Just keep this in mind for future decision-making process. Now, let's move on to the next topic. So all these infrastructure, all these concepts, all these liquidity services that we provide, well, they have to be distributed. And the way we do that is through one single margin account. Think of it this way: 7 asset classes, they all get, architecturally, they're all going to one margin account. For those of you who may know this industry quite well, there's a participant in this industry who created the smart order routing in the old times. We follow a very similar business model approach. And the way we distribute that is through our core platforms, the likes of 10 Prime XM, our in-house, our own development for crypto spot is Marksman Hub, as we call it, and B2Trader, which is our trading GUI. And of course, for the what we call trading platforms, MetaQuotes, C-Traders, well, those are distribution venues quite popular within our client base. In addition, there are other vendors, names that you're very familiar with. I'm certain you've heard here and there, the FX Cubic, the Centroid, the Integral. All these, along with others, are part of our, what I consider perhaps our own ecosystem. Now, in addition to how we distribute, the next point is aggregation. Let me move on to the next slide. So B2Broker has constructed liquidity over time. B2Broker, here's a very nice scheme of how it works, but I'm going to simplify it. We are utilizing for CFD business 1.0 or PrimeXM primarily, among other technology vendors. Now, on the Marksman Hub is what we have constructed, as mentioned before, to aggregate liquidity from spot exchanges or makers, as we also know them. So we have a suite of choices on how we aggregate and then distribute that liquidity to you or to the end user. Years of experience, years in the making have led us to be in a position to construct, to optimize each one of our solutions through time. I think this is a very useful graphical representation. So all these comes down to wonderful services, but most importantly, the ability to provide worldwide coverage in multiple languages. We are running a 24/7 desk for technical support and customer support. At all times, you have the capabilities to reach out to us. We've built relationships in this industry thanks to service, thanks to commitment, and obviously through allocating the correct amount of resources. We have offices globally today. We are a thriving business. We are a partner that you can count on. I believe this is my part of the equation for today. I would like to say thank you for listening, and I look forward to speaking to any of you in the nearest future. Now, I will be passing on the word to our CEO, Arthur Azizov.
Thank you, John. Yeah, hello guys, hello everyone. As John had mentioned, just that liquidity topic, it was always interesting topic, and I think we spent some time on this, to build this up and to make it in a more efficient way. And it's actually when we have started like providing and aggregating liquidity, we didn't think that it's really hard to find the providers or liquidity providers, who provide a lot of asset classes through one single margin account. And I even do remember that back in 2016, we used to provide liquidity through like 3 different systems, because at that time, even all the current platforms that now support all those asset classes, at that time, few of them, they could support only FX and spot metals. That's it. So we couldn't run their crypto CFD. We couldn't even enable some of the equity CFDs and equity indices. So there were some technical issues. Some of them, they just easily couldn't support like 8 digits after decimal, and some other like problems. And they can look back it seems like we went through pretty long way, and now the whole industry actually kind of has grown, and now especially for the new brokers, it seems like, okay, so you need one single margin account, you need a liquidity provider who can provide 700 instruments or 1,000 instruments. Okay, it's easy because there are B2Broker and some other good names as well, because even I recommend to all the brokers, maybe they should have as a backup, besides of B2Broker, also some LP, just in case, you know, as a fair approach, you know, because even we don't rely on anybody. So we always have backup on backup, and I believe that's how it should work, because end users, in our case, it's corporate clients and retail brokers. So they, you know, they don't want to hear about any kind of problems or issues. So they wanna up and running liquidity service all the time. So, and we spend a lot of resources on that, and we keep spending all this, because it always requires a lot of investments into the tech support team in order to be able to work 24/7, in infrastructure, in order to have all the backups and backups on backups. It requires a lot of resources. You know, maybe it sounds pretty normal for nowadays, you know, 24/7, but in reality, in order to keep it running like 24/7, pure 24/7 team with the time response of 2-3 minutes, you need at least like 30-40 people. So you need business process in place, you need escalation policy, you need all the special systems, the dividing the rights, confirmations, the level 3 support in case of some serious issues, you know. So all this, and this is just only one aspect, but also to run and to have all these trading platforms. So we are also, I think, in the top 5, or maybe, I don't know, yeah, I think top 5 white label providers, you know, and a lot of brokers, they use our platforms to run their brokerage or exchange business. And it requires, like, we even have special department, we call it like trading platform department, and it works also 24/7. So we invest a lot into this, let's say, liquidity management infrastructure in order to give to our clients the best service. So, okay, anyways, I think John has pointed out all the key topics, but the thing is that, you know, now it became like industry standard that some of the key players have the good systems for distribution, a lot of trading instruments, the very deep order book with the large the volumes there. So technical support in a very high way, standard way, and a lot of a lot of trading assets, a lot of asset of classes, because it's also very important, because, you know, now end users especially and the brokers, so they follow the end users request. They understand that the many end users now, they became more sophisticated, and they receive a lot of, so they follow a lot of Telegram channels, a lot of YouTube channels, and all these channels and all these, you know, bloggers, the expert advisors, like just trading advisors, they recommend always to build different like type of portfolios based on different risk approach. And in order to do so, of course, you need access to different liquidity pools. And this is our job, to combine these liquidity pools. And not only because, as John mentioned, it was kind of also key point here that the credit line of all those financial institutions very different, and we use our capital to increase efficiency in terms of leverage and margin stuff for the retail brokers, and then brokers can actually increase their efficiency for their end users. So this is also very important because, in reality, above certain levels, the credit line and margin requirements are too high for retail brokers. And, in order to provide even 1% margin, some of the even very big financial institutions, they just don't support this. They don't provide it because they have pretty big risk, because their exposure is much higher than the retail brokerage. And of course, they don't want to end up with a huge loss or with some bankruptcy or something. So this is why they're not willing to take those risks. And we use our capital to mitigate this risk and to pass to the retail brokers, besides of one margin account where their capital works in a super efficient way, also to keep their leverage as high as possible, which means like to decrease margin as minimum as possible, So this is also very important. So keep this in mind always when you are choosing your partner. And and just John also mentioned that prime broker, it's kind of pretty hard to get there, even for, I don't know, I would say for 80% or for 90% of retail brokers, it's pretty hard to get in their relation with prime broker. So this is why now among liquidity providers, it's a pretty popular business model, like prime of prime, and this is just beautiful words, but behind the scene there are a lot of things that have to be done in order to be able to call yourself prime of prime liquidity provider, So, and besides of we are doing prime of prime on FX, we are doing so we are running kind of prime brokerage model on crypto. And this is why we call ourselves prime of prime. So because we are truly prime of prime. Okay, so just a brief slide about our ecosystem, and one also very important update that I want to tell about this now, because actually it's going to be the first time we are telling this in public, that it's one of the amazing news that is coming. We just partnered up with CTrader, and very, very soon we are going to start officially providing white label solutions based on CTrader trading platform. So besides of our B2Trader platform, where the clients can run their spot trading platform, or let's say crypto exchange business, besides of MT4, MT5, so I think no need to explain what that means, everybody knows this. So besides of all of this, we are going to start providing liquidity through white label of the CTrader platform, and of course any broker can come to us and actually buy this package white label of CTrader. So it's coming very, very soon. I think the testing environment, the test environment will be ready in 1-2 weeks maximum, and in the end of August, actually in the beginning of September. So this gonna be officially launched. Of course, I think we will make press release through Finance Magnates, and but nevertheless, that the release will be coming soon. Now all you know, guys, and you already start thinking maybe besides of MT4, MT5 and B2Trader, maybe you should also consider C-Trader, because C-Trader is a very good platform actually, you know. So I actually kind of even was thinking why we didn't do this early, because the platform is really great. Okay, so besides of that, the B2Broker keeps growing, and right now we are already more than 300 people in the team. Precisely, to speak precisely, it's, I don't know, maybe 310, something like that, 307, 310. So it's, you know, every day something is happening. Some people come, some people leave, but of course, most of the time they are joining us. And we already launched our big office in Dubai. So just behind me, you see the view from our office. Also, we are doing fitting out. We are actually completing fitting out in our big office in Dubai. So we will have 2 offices in Dubai, because I think it's already around 30 people in Dubai, and we are going to extend our team here up to 100 people. So also we are going to launch office okay, I'm not going to disclose now, but you will see. And in September, we already mentioned this on the slide. You see here, we are going to open office in Tbilisi, in Georgia. So it's also very nice office in Axie Towers. It's actually the best towers there. Yeah, in Georgia also, there are already a lot of guys there, and they just live. They just like to live in Georgia, and also we realize that the local guys, they're also pretty experienced, and Georgia is pretty advanced in terms of banking, corporates, and you know, all those facilities. Okay. Also, I would like to point out here that in our ecosystem, we have in-house development systems. It's like B2Core, B2Core IB. I think B2Core, it's the most well-known CRM and back office platform. It's fully integrated with MT4, MT5, B2Trader, and of course C-Trader now. Also, DXTrade platform is also integrated there. We just released Android app for B2Core. So now, you know, all your end users, they can open account, deposit, withdraw funds through B2Core, through mobile app, to all those mentioned platforms. Then also I would like to point out about Marksman Hub. The Marksman Hub, it's I think we just had 1 month ago, 2 months ago, the webinar about this Marksman Hub. It's a liquidity hub, and through this hub, actually, exchanges and brokers, they can be connected to spot exchanges and to exchanges who provide also perpetual futures liquidity. If you want to construct your own liquidity pool, so you can take Marksman Hub in order to do so. Then B2Prime, B2Prime.com, it's our prime of prime multi-asset liquidity, regulated liquidity provider. Now we have a license in Cyprus and in Mauritius. Then Acquire, it's our digital bank in UK. We have authorized electronic money institutional license in UK, in London. And I think we are going to launch this in October. Of course, as soon as we launch this service, all the brokers, they will be able to open account with us. You know, this AMI business is pretty popular now, but we do this not because we really want to do this digital banking business, but just to give additional value or extra value to our brokers, because in this case, they will be able to move the funds from liquidity provider to their account just, you know, in seconds. It's going to be very fast. So Then B2B and Pay digital asset processing company. This business keeps growing very fast because more and more merchants from all kind of industries, from all kind of services, they try to start accepting payments in crypto because it's more efficient and it's more faster and it's more even secure, I would say, and it's much cheaper. No rolling reserve, no chargebacks, no nothing, So it's very fast, and since especially now the regulated stable coins, I think all the transactions that are happening on the platform mostly in stable coins. So this is why the users, they already get used to in this crypto payment. So for everyone, it's already common practice. Then, of course, our institutional exchange, B2Broker venture fund, and our white label platforms, as I mentioned. So that's our introduction, and I think we can move to questions, or if there are some questions, so we can reply. Yeah, this is our interfaces of our platforms, how they look like. So maybe we can speak about questions now. Let's go back one slide back here. So we will reply on the questions here, I think, and then we'll move and we'll say about our offer, special offer, which we prepared for this event for webinar. Okay, so any questions?
Sure. So please feel free to send questions, and we will try and get to them. You just click on the Q&A, and we will try and get to them. Okay.
Yeah, I see one question in the chat. It's about Marksman Hub, just a white label. No, it's not a white label of PrimeXM and 1.0. Actually, 1.0 and PrimeXM, they don't provide white label for of their platforms, as far as I know. Maybe maybe you guys have another information, but as far as I know, they don't provide kind of white label. And of course, we use PrimeXM and 1.0, and we have a lot of hubs of PrimeXM and 1.0. But Marksman was designed specifically focusing on the crypto spot and crypto perpetuals. And 1.0 PrimeXM, they focus on CFD. So this is why it's a completely two different systems. And we didn't see the real point to enter CFD space with these bridge hub aggregators, because there are enough players like 1.0, PrimeXM, Tools for Brokers, Centroid, Integral, who else? All these guys. So okay, any other questions?
Right. We do have another question. We have a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah, I see it now. Okay, do you have plans to integrate DeFi? Yeah, actually, we have several requests from the clients who use Marksman Hub that they need to be integrated with some of the DEXs, which is like decentralized exchanges, and we have it on our roadmap. But of course, I think we will start from the most popular ones. The maximum lot can be executed through your service. I think, John, this question for you.
There is no particular maximum. This is all entirely related to collateral. So you have X trading conditions with us. You basically get an institutional offer. You have all margin requirements allocated per asset class, per instrument. In accordance to that position size that you're taking, you need to have enough collateral. Always recommend customers, please monitor your clip size to minimize market impact and avoid any misunderstandings. this is just the nature of liquidity, right? To answer the question precisely, is there a limit? No, none. It's all entirely related to your capital.
Okay, so next question. I have 50 clients with me. I need to control deposit and withdrawals. Which one I need to start? Can you suggest? I think we just need to specify this question, because if we are talking about retail clients, then I believe you should need to consider one of the platform, maybe MT4, MT5 or C-Trader, if we are talking about running brokerage business, and B2Trader if you are thinking to launch your cryptocurrency exchange, spot exchange. So this is one suggestion. Another suggestion, I think, is better if you specify your questions to address it to our head of business development. In the end of my presentation, I'm going to share the email where, guys, you can send all your type of questions, and we will try to reply to you as soon as possible. Okay, next question. How to determine the cost and fees once B2B has been implemented? We are very transparent. I mean, we have all the fees, so you will see, you will know them upfront, and of course, usually we don't change them, you know. It happens pretty rarely, and even though, of course, there is always room for negotiation. What tax hit do I face if I invest with you? Actually, we are not the asset management. You cannot invest with us, because we have our venture capital fund, B2Broker VC, but we invest only into companies who is related to our sector, to digital assets, trading, you know, all this kind of stuff. Hi, we are a group of traders trading FX. We are looking for prime of prime for a while. Could we use B2 Core to trade? Actually, you don't need B2 Core for this. We can open account directly on one of our aggregators like 10, PrimeXM or Marksman Hub, and then we will issue fixed API connection, and that's it. And then you can do all your trades there. Yeah, but of course it's gonna be same procedures. We work with some of the professional prop trading companies and just hedge funds. Usually, you know, I see a lot of HFTs. They are coming to us pretty often, but you know, they try to to work out their strategy, but to be honest, it doesn't work a lot, because we are truly prime of prime. We don't take any kind of risk on our side, and when your order gets executed by real market, there is always some kind of market impact. Of course, depends on the clip size, and nevertheless, that some of the orders we execute 50 milliseconds, some of them even 25, 30, but not less. But all those HFT firms, they trade during the market news and other kind of important events, and of course their orders start executing like, I don't know, 200 seconds, 300, 400 sometimes, and then they start like saying that something is wrong. Nothing wrong there. It's just at that point all the trades, all such kind of traders, they wanna get into the market. So this is why, of course, so you should do all the normal KYC procedures, you know, all the onboarding process, and that's it. And then you're free to go. We can offer any of our trading platform where you can trade and execute all your strategies. How many crypto assets you support for spot crypto exchanges? Actually, it's a very good question. For crypto CFD, we support 150 crypto assets. For crypto spot, if we are talking about our institutional exchange and you want to take spot liquidity directly through us, which is the advantage here is that it's going to be integrated. But in this case, it's going to be only, we call it like liquid or majors. And there, how many, I don't remember, like around 80 maybe, just 80 pairs. Crypto CFD 150, spot it's around 80. But if you want to construct your own crypto spot liquidity taking our Marksman Hub, then you're free to go with, so you can potentially connect your Marksman Hub directly to Binance, to Huobi, to Bitfinex, and then from Binance you can take, I don't know, this list of pairs. From Huobi you can take another list of pairs, and then you will combine them. Also, we have a failover system where you can switch the pairs or providers in case of maintenance or just when the exchange will be down, you know. So that's the answer. Next, if I open 1,000 lot in a single trade through PAM, can you make sure there won't be any slippage? No, we can't be sure, because you know, the PAM is just kind of side platform, which okay, there are some difference. Let's call it like the copy trading and PAM. In this particular case, when you need to open 1,000 lots, when you do it through PAM, it's gonna be kind of better, because on a PAM system, this 1,000 lot will be opening through one single account, because nevertheless that PAM can consist, I don't know, 1,000 accounts, but for the trading platform, the whole this PAM account will be considering as one trading account, you know. And this is why in this case it's gonna be a bit better, but still 1,000 lot. Anyways, as I mentioned, we run only pure agency model, and this is why nevertheless that we do aggregation, and it's very good. It's gonna be for sure better if you open it through aggregated liquidity, but still for 1,000 lot, question is what kind of trading pair we are talking about, but still you will feel market impact. The situation could be worse if we were talking about copy trading, because in this case 1,000 accounts or 1,000 followers, so through platform it would be just 1,000 different accounts, and there would be delay which could impact even worse comparing to the PAM solution. But you know, the disadvantage of PAM that it's prohibited in many jurisdictions, especially all the regulated jurisdictions. The regulators, they kind of don't allow to run the PAM, so they allow to run the copy trading or social trading model. Okay, next question. How do we do closing with B2Broker, monthly, weekly? So usually we have our monthly fees, but when we are talking about liquidity, we charge immediately from every single order. So any tips to attract client to our broker? I believe that the best tip is to be transparent, to be regulated, and to provide very good customer service, because you know the traders and many especially the newcomers, the new kind of investors, they need support. They need someone to guide them through, to explain them all the advantages, disadvantages, you know, how to make decisions. Maybe you should, I don't know, even the very simple move can help you. For example, you know, there are so many different these channels, YouTube channels, Telegram channels, Instagram, I don't know, even TikTok. And all of them, they do kind of advices, what to buy, what to sell, what to do actually, how to trade. And I think it might help if you launch your kind of not school, but at least you can select the very good channels which potentially you may advise your traders to follow in order to get very good advice, or at least explanation how to combine like different portfolios, how to construct your based on your risk approach, construct different like portfolios with different assets, you know, what to choose or what to select in terms of crypto CFD, in terms of FX, how to do like high risk strategies, how to construct your low risk strategies, and so on. So the transparency and your intention to really help to clients, this is the best way how to get very extensive client base, you know. Do you support high frequency trading? To be honest, no. As I mentioned already, actually we support, but all our liquidity providers and exchanges, they don't. So you can start running your HFT, and some of them, even now, like many perpetual futures exchanges, they used to support HFT, now they don't, because HFT, it's always you try to take advantage over the counterparty, and of course they don't allow. We actually it doesn't matter for us, are you doing HFT or any other strategies, but the thing is that every account has a unique ID which can be spotted and separated through all other IDs, and you can have using like same liquidity 3, 4, 5 different brokers, and one of them will be doing HFT, and in this case the counterparty side they will be causing some delays on execution for this particular HFT broker, which at the same time all other brokers, their execution will be even faster and more smooth. I don't know, do we still have time for questions, or maybe I will, because we are kind of running out of time, and I suggest we move to the next slide, and I will explain about our offer. So, you know, for this event, we decided for all brokers to give them kind of this offer, 50% on setup fee for B2Trader trading platform, because we have like setup fee, it's $25,000, and we have a monthly fee, and we decided to give on this next month, actually it's till let's say beginning of September, 50% discount on setup fee for B2Trader. The B2Trader, it's ideal trading, spot trading platform for brokers who want to launch as an addition to their existing business model, to their existing brokerage model. to run their spot exchange business. And B2Trader, this is one of the best platforms on the market. It's easy to manage, and of course with all the support from B2Broker team, and you can connect their Marksman Hub and can construct your own liquidity pool and provide to your users. And of course, this is the B2Trader. The difference between the brokerage platforms such as C-Trader, MT4, MT5, and B2Trader, that B2Trader it's completely different platform. The B2Trader, it's a pure matching engine where if you have market makers, or you can develop based on the API of B2Trader, you can develop your own market maker's bot, and you can become market maker, and you can, I don't know, even open one maker account, another maker account. You can do, you can actually fulfill your order books. You can list any other pairs, new tokens, or just take liquidity from other exchanges where already exist liquidity for those tokens that you want to enable on your platform. So the B2Trader gives you like pretty a lot of actually possibilities to run your spot business, and it's completely different of brokerage business. Okay, there are some, you know, like very important details, but I think it's better if you send any questions to us, and I will just give you now the email. We'll move to the next slide. Yeah, here you can sign up with to our Telegram channel and to YouTube channel, you know, not to miss any important information. Since you know, when you follow the industry itself in general, I think it's better if you follow B2Broker's accounts as well. As a finance magnets, you know, the finance magnets, even the first has to be in your Telegram list, but B2Broker should be second. Okay, here you can see, guys, Andrew at B2Broker.com. Andrew, he's head of global business development of B2Broker. He's very knowledgeable guy, and he knows inside out all the products, and he will be delighted to answer to all of your questions as soon as possible. So I think yeah, it was pleasure to talk with you guys and to explain about prime of prime brokerage, liquidity. Thank you, John. Thank you, whole Finance Magnates team, because yeah, you help us a lot to organize this event. And I believe that after this presentation, the knowledge of all of us became a bit better understanding of this industry and of this particular liquidity topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arthur, and thank you so much, John. This was a fantastic presentation. There's obviously a lot to cover on this topic. I still see there are a lot of questions coming in. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Just a reminder, as Arthur said, please email Andrew at b2broker.com. He will get back to you ASAP, or you can contact them via their website, where they have a full team going 24/7, 365 days a year. They will get back to you as soon as possible. So this webinar will also be available on Finance Magnates YouTube channel, where you can rewatch and share with everyone. If you missed something, it will be shared with you. So a special thanks to our audience. Thank you so much for joining us and staying the entire time. Hats off to you. And thank you very much to our incredible speakers. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you, Tessa. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.